Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to the Planet Crafter. Now, I am super excited to dive back into the Planet Crafter and kind of check a couple of things out that are new. So, I avoided coming back to the Planet Crafter for the lore and automation update, because of the fact that I thought the game was a little bit closer to completion than it actually was, and I didn't really want to spoil too much for myself. That being said, the game will not actually be in full release until Q1 of 2024, or at least that's the current development route plan from the developers themselves over on Steam, according to their Steam page. However, there has now been two major updates since the last time I played, and I really want to check some of that out. Obviously, this one is the fish and drones. The last one was the lore and automation update, and we can kind of hop into my old save file here. My nice, very old save file at this point, which was like the butterflies was the last big thing that we did, the insects update. And you can kind of see over here that we're already at fish, so fish must be like 1 TTI, so that's kind of neat. I don't know what these values unlock at, but there is now an auto crafter, so you can automatically craft things, which I'm very interested in doing. I mentioned that in the return video. I want to have like full automation chains set up. Drone station, aquarium, circuit boards, there's an aquatic life collector, mutagen tier 3, which means there's mutagen tier 2, which I never actually messed around with at all. There's an ore extractor tier 3 that you can select what you're actually gonna be digging out of the ground no matter where you are. I think they changed that though now that there are drones. There's a whole bunch of like fish farms. You can make lerma seeds, which is cool because those were like the basic one. There's mutagen tier 2, there's beehive and butterfly tier 2s now. There's more butterfly larvae that have been unlocked. There's heater T5s, new rockets, insect spreader rockets, drill T5, fish Privios eggs, aquarium T2. There's a whole bunch of new stuff. And I kind of figure that the best way, or it also looks like trees just grow naturally now once you get to a certain point, and also obviously oxygen does not decrease while you're outside anymore, which is super nice. But I think really the best way for us to experience this update, obviously this got changed, and all of the new stuff that comes with this update is to completely start fresh. So I'm gonna go set that up, and I'll be right back. So it looks like we can't yet rename our save files, so we're just gonna have to remember that it's save 4. We're obviously going to go for the standard experience, drop some items when you die. We're not going to do any of like the relaxing or any of that kind of crap because who cares, right? And then there are a bunch of these that we can choose. The Grand Rift, I don't even know where that is. The Sand Falls, I do know where the Sand Falls is. That actually might be an interesting start location because we have instant access to sulfur, the like sulfur fields, or at least I think we would, right? You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a sandfall start. We could do random, but I don't want to deal with the meteor crater. So yeah, a more challenging landing site. I don't want to deal with that. So we're gonna do sandfalls, and then we are going to see what happens when we load in, because there is apparently more lore. Looks like obviously there's not that much lore. I'm gonna go on ahead and turn off the music. That way, now future Benji can bring in the new music file, which should be happening right about now. I kind of split the things there, that way future Benji actually knows what to do. So obviously, this is kind of the gameplay loop. We have some oxygen capsules, some water capsules, we have a seed, and we have some food. And you can see the first steps, we have a whole bunch of stuff that we can do in our top left kind of like board. Tab is the inventory, so we have a little inventory that'll get bigger over time. And we have a bunch of gear that essentially acts as personal upgrades. And then in here, we have a couple of things, the construction, the deconstruction, the torch, the backpack. I think we want to do the bag first, so we want to be in the bag here on the Beneji channel. And then the oxygen tank tier 1. So we're looking for, at this point, in all honesty, pretty much everything. But I think the main things are probably going to be silica, magnesium for that, iron, and cobalt. So we're just going to go on out and literally just collect some items. Oh man, that is a nostalgic sound. It's been almost a year since I've played this super hardcore, and you can see that reflected on the channel, obviously. It has not been a year since I actually played the game. Obviously, when the insects update came out, the butterflies and stuff, I did play that, and there are videos covering everything up until that point on the channel. Ooh, there's a box up there we're gonna want to go check out. But this is kind of the main gameplay loop for now. I'm kind of limited to a very small area because of my oxygen level being so low. And we are limited in the amount of stuff that we can actually grab while we are out and about. Specifically because of the fact that we just don't have the oxygen, we just don't have the inventory space. So there's really nothing that we can do in that regard. We're going to want the deconstruction microchip as well. These will allow us to actually build things. Q is the build menu. And I think kind of the first thing that we're really going to want to do is get ourselves some more storage. And probably just some like basic living compartments. The craft station T2, some drills, you know, just the standard stuff. Yeah, that's essentially the gameplay loop, is like you have not that much time that you're like out and about at the beginning, or able to be out and about. Obviously, the planet is a complete desert. There is like nothing here. Apart from just the bare minimum resources that you can actually use to do things here. Also, scroll wheel to manipulate through the menus and stuff like that. Water is going to be very valuable to us in the early game, because the only other way that we can get water capsules is through the use of crafting it with ice. And ice is a limited resource. That's right. Ice right now is in fact a limited resource. So we really don't want to use more ice than is necessary. Now, where would I like to put my base for right now? For right now, I think we're just going to put it here, because why not? And I do have a video up on the channel. I'm very curious. Yep, that does in fact still work. I have no power generation on the planet right now. Nothing whatsoever. So if you take 3 titanium, let me double check here. No, 2 titanium, 1 silica, and 3 iron anywhere with you on the planet, and you can have infinite oxygen. You just plop one of these bad boys down, walk on in, your oxygen gets topped off, and then you are good to continue moving along. Oh, wait a minute. It says low power. I could be wrong. I don't see a power meter anywhere, which is very interesting. But I don't actually see... I don't see what prompted that warning. I think maybe it's just the fact that I literally have 0 power generation right now. That is entirely possible, and that is entirely fair. Yeah, it says warning low power. I think that's just because I literally have 0 power right now whatsoever. Now, how do you rotate? Rotate with scroll wheel. That was something that I kind of keep getting comments about inadvertently, is like people saying things like, hey, thanks for mentioning the keybind, yada yada. I wouldn't have known how to do that or what to do with that without you. So yeah, you guys are welcome. I'm gonna continue to try to just like mention really anything that I can think of in terms of stuff that would be useful to know keybind wise. And if it gets annoying, just leave a comment telling me that it's annoying and I'll stop. It's really that simple. So I'm gonna grab some resources real quick. I'm just gonna go on a big old scavenging mission around here, and you guys kind of get the gist of that already. And then I'll be back. Alright, so I've got myself a decent wealth of resources for the early game here, including some resources that won't be used until very late game. Wrong chest. One of them being sulfur, which, I mean, that's probably more mid-game. But these, bioplastic nugget and super alloy. The bioplastic nugget I got out of a crate I found on the ground. And one of the qualities of this wonderful sand falls that we currently find ourselves in is the fact that there is super alloy hidden within the sand waterfall. Or the sand fall. See, there's one now. So if you just kind of like walk around the base of the sandfall here, you'll just kind of find them like scattered around and stuff. Of course, there it is. Also, something that is interesting that's happening right now is a meteor storm. So there are currently meteors coming in from above and crashing into our planet here, and they have some interesting resources in them, like that aluminum right there. Here's some more. So they will bring down just the standard resources and the standard storms. There are other storms that can happen later in the game that you actually will provoke, I guess you could say, using rocket launches and stuff, but that's a ways away. Right now, I'm not super worried about any of that. Right now, I'm mainly worried about just getting ourselves a base of operations going. That's really all that I care about at this moment in time. And what I really want to do for this episode is just get some of the first steps out of the way and kind of explain the core mechanics of the game a little bit. So for right now, we're just going to make ourselves a 4x4 base. We're not going to make it super huge, super fancy, super, like, anything. And I can reorganize all of this eventually .tm. In fact, I'll probably just go on ahead and get some of these out of the way and kind of organize our storage right now. Just kind of up against this, this like, backmost wall. At least as much as I can before I start running into collision issues. And I'll reorganize everything off camera. Right now I just want to kind of get a baseline going. Iron, I think, is probably the most important resource in this game, hands down. The second most important is probably going to be either your silica or your magnesium. And then obviously the later game is super out and stuff like that. So let's go on ahead and do what's at the top of the list. Craft a drill tier 1, which is literally just iron and titanium. These things, can I actually put, generates pressures by releasing gases trapped in the ground, which is real life lore accurate. That is how you terraform a planet. You get these super heated sort of lasers and mining drills and stuff drilling into the crust of a planet that will then release the gases that are trapped within the top layer of the planet. And that will actually lead to some generation of an atmosphere over time. Which, granted, in real life it's going to take way longer than it does in this game. But these drills also take power, which brings us to item number 2. Wind turbines. Generates energy. You can see these make 0.2 pressure per second at a cost of 0.5 energy per second. And these produce 1.2 energy per second. So one of these guys here will power 2 of these guys, which means for our wind turbines, which we're just kind of going to put over here for right now, we need 2 of those, and we can start generating ourselves some pressure. And you can see that terraformation index going up ever so slightly. We're going to go on ahead and bonk down a 4th. I think we're going to go in batches of 4 for right now. Now, the next thing that it wants us to do here is craft a screen for terraformation, blueprints, and progress. So we need some silica, we're going to need some magnesium, I know for a fact we're going to need some cobalt, and we might need some aluminum. So I'm going to have all of my, like, screens and stuff in here. So first of all, of course, that is going to require us to make ourselves a little bit of a home in here. So I am gonna spruce things up. I'm gonna try to keep it like as nice as I can, I guess you could say. Because I don't want to live in a dump, you know? We're trying to make this planet nice. We're not trying to make it bad. So I don't like the way that that just oriented itself. So it looks like it's centered here, and I think I want it like 1 tick in like that. Does that fix my problem? I think that fixes it. I don't know, let me deconstruct this one and try again. So that looks centered, and then that is not centered. There we go, that's close enough. That's close enough. I need more iron. Shocker, I'm running out of iron. That's kind of something that you're gonna see a lot. Also, new blueprint, T2. So let's go on ahead and let's get the unlock screen. I think this is probably the most important screen in the game. This shows us all of our unlocks. So this will tell us what we can get, when we can get it. So Vegetube Tier 2, we need 500, I think it's picokelvin, because the K is Kelvin, obviously. Let me go on ahead and run some of this down. The TI is the terraformation index, not the element titanium. The oxygen is in parts per quadrillion. That's what the PP is, and then the Q is quadrillion. I believe this is picokelvin, because pico is times 10 to the minus 12th Kelvin. And Kelvin is the thing that measures on the Celsius scale, plus 275. So take Celsius, add 275 to it, and then you have Kelvin. And then pressure is in nanopascals. Pascals is just a unit of pressure. Nano is times 10 to the minus 9th. I know that thanks to all of my research and stuff in physics. So that's enough of me nerding out. You can see the terraformation index is a sum of our oxygen, heat, and pressure in order to get our terraformation index. So right now it's only pressure. And eventually we're going to unlock the backpack tier 2. And we're going to be able to have more things in the bag. Solar panels, backpack tier 3, more solar panels, locker storage, which is going to be very nice. These are very large storage devices. Advanced crafting, so on and so forth. Ladders to do multiple floors, vegetubes, progress screen to show the different terraformation stages, living compartment window, drill, upgrades, all kinds of really, really good stuff. But right now, I'm out of iron. So I'm gonna go back out and about looking for some more resources here, just kind of out and about lying on the ground. And I will bring you guys back in once we are ready to move on to the next stage of building things. My inventory's full. See you soon. So I was out exploring, and I found this. This is a golden crate, and this has a lot of really, really, really good things in it. So I'm going to have to come back for the rest of that as soon as I go dump my inventory. I think I probably have enough iron to continue things for now, .tm. And I can grab some more on the way back. So golden crates and other sort of secrets and stuff are, well, secrets that are hidden around the map. And they will sort of have a lot of really, really rare items in them. Like, you can kind of see this one had the golden seed, which is a 600% multiplier. And we will eventually see what that 600% multiplier is applying to, I guess you could say. I'm also gonna take these because they're raw resources. These are crafted resources. They will give really, really, really high bonuses in the later tiers when we're starting to use the golden seeds and stuff. And then they also have these wonderful things, which can be built, and I'm just kind of gonna put that one right there for right now. It's just golden statues of things that appear in the world. So there are golden crates scattered kind of everywhere throughout the map. I've found a handful in my exploration time in this game. I have not found all of them. I believe there are some Reddit users out there that have found all of them. But hopefully here we can get through the rest of like the last 4 stages, because this video is starting to get a wee bit on the long side. And I would rather it not do that. Also, deconstructing the crates gives you 1 piece of aluminum and 1 piece of super alloy. So that's a very, very nice early game source of super alloys. Just kind of as a heads up on that one. Now, the only thing I can see being a problem is getting the heater tier 1. I don't think we're going to get the heater tier 1 this episode. And I believe that because I know what it takes. And we're not near, to my knowledge, any resources that have that. So let's take a look at the terraformation. We need 1 silica and 1 cobalt. Also, I labeled my chests this time. And then we want the progress screen, but we haven't unlocked it yet, so we'll go on ahead and do this one. So 1 more silica and 1 more magnesium. Then we're going to put the power one right next to that one, because I feel like that's the most important. Because you can see our consumption has now surpassed our production, which is obviously why the lights turned out. So we'll go out and fix that here. Just a moment. There we go. That is perfect. Now we can go out here and simply place down another wind turbine. And now we are net positive on our power levels. You can see we are exceeding by 0.6, which is very nice. I could actually go on ahead and put down a 5th drill. Because why not, right? That's just going to make things faster for us. So you can see the oxygen, heat, pressure, everything like that without having to go into here. Also, I'll get to this when I find one. For right now, though, I think the last thing that we're going to do is craft a Vegetube T1, and then obviously the craft station T2 is going to be super easy. My upstairs neighbor is vacuuming right there. I'm so glad that they're being cleanly. I just hope that you guys can't hear it. That's going to go right in the corner there, and of course, we run out of power. Very lovely. Let's go plonk down another wind turbine. Perfect. So now this is going to let us build things like the backpack tier 2, which takes the backpack tier 1. That's going to be a recurring theme. The exoskeleton, which increases our equipment capacity so that we can have more things enabled at one time, like having a flashlight at the same time as the deconstruction, construction, backpack, and oxygen tank. So that's going to be something very important to us. And then the oxygen tank tier 2 as well as that. So let's take a look at the Vegetube now. The Vegetube is going to increase our O2 generation. So iron, ice, and a piece of magnesium, which is exactly why I grabbed that one piece of ice on my way in. Haha, sneaky. Now, these need to be supplied with seeds. They don't just give oxygen on their own. So it's a good thing I just found this golden seed. Let's watch our oxygen levels skyrocket. No, it's only 0.9 parts per quadrillion per second. So that's not too great. That's about the same rate on the oxygen as the pressure is with 5 drill tier 1s. So that should kind of tell you how effective that seed is. And in fact, for comparison here, this is the seed that we started with. This is just 100% multiplication. That drops us down to 0.15. That's crazy for the default seed versus the golden seed. But with that all done, I think that is actually going to be it for today. We're going to get to the heater tier 1 and the progress screen in the next episode, as well as probably expanding our base ever so slightly a little bit. I'm going to do some resource harvesting in the meantime and just really try to fill this up before we come back into the next episode and get the ball rolling a little bit on our equipment and stuff. But thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. But without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves all a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all!